Turn to some breaking news now in Chicago, where deliberations are now underway in singer R. Kelly's sexual abuse trial. Nearly 36 witnesses have testified in the last 4 weeks. The singer facing child pornography and obstruction of justice charges. He denies any wrongdoing. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa is in Chicago for us today. So, Maggie, R. Kelly's lawyers asked the jury to see the humanity in him as they deliberate their decision.
Right.
What else did they say to try to drive home their case today before the jury went to deliberate?
Sure, Aaron. Well, essentially, they're asking jurors to kind of look at this case in a vacuum. And by that, I mean, for people sitting at home thinking, why are we talking about R. Kelly? Haven't we been through this before? The answer is yes. This is the second federal trial with these sort of types of charges. The last one was a couple of years ago in New York. And in that case, he was convicted on multiple sex crimes, some of which were against children, and on racketeering. And he's currently serving a 30-year sentence for that case. Cut to this one. This time around, federal prosecutors in Chicago are going after R. Kelly, saying he and some of his staffers in past cases paid and intimidated witnesses and victims. Some of those victims, they say, were abused as kids, out of talking to investigators, testifying in these cases, cooperating with authorities. So they're going after him in this case. That's what's being decided here. But his attorney telling jurors, you may consider him to be the most amoral, dishonest person on the planet. That has nothing to do with whether the government has proved its case, Aaron. So that's been their strategy.
Maggie, yesterday, one of the jurors had to be excused and replaced. We heard about that, replaced with an alternate there. What happened, and do we know anything about this new juror?
Definitely. So what happened was basically one of the jurors had a panic attack in the middle of closing arguments, several hours into very graphic, disturbing closing arguments by the prosecution. It was a woman in her 20s or 30s. She just told the judge, I can't go on 1 minute longer. She was replaced by an alternate juror, a man in his 70s, and that allowed proceedings to move forward. It won't affect the end result. It didn't really cause any sort of major disruption in the court, but it does speak to how difficult and how heavy and graphic the information being absorbed by these jurors has been throughout this process. Aaron.
All right, Maggie Vespa for us in Chicago today. Maggie, thank you.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.